Negativity is a natural part of the creative process. This is a topic I've wanted to touch on for a while now, and I've known about this for quite some time because I've been doing stuff online for quite some time, even before I even started YouTube. The more you put yourself out there, the more of your work that you put out there, the more of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, the more of whatever content that you happen to make, maybe whatever projects you got, you're going to be exposing that to many different groups of people. And what's beautiful about that is that if you keep going long enough and you keep trying hard enough, and if you keep putting out more things that folks can genuinely appreciate, you will find your audience at one point. Now, an audience can mean many different things, and depending on what kind of person you are, a lot of the audience you receive is going to be good attention. People who genuinely appreciate what you had to put out, maybe they're entertained by it, maybe their lives are changed by it, maybe they're inspired by it, or maybe they just find it slightly humorous. A small form of escapism for folks who could really use it. But on the flip side of that, and while I'd like to say that the vast majority of people won't be this way, we need to understand and accept the fact that for as long as you put yourself out there, there will be people who hate you. Regardless of how positive you are, how friendly you are, how helpful you might be, how entertaining you might be. If you help rescue a cat from a tree, or helped an old woman across the street, or moved a mountain to stop a flood, there's going to be people who hate you. This is something I've known for a long time, because even if I've only been doing YouTube for only a short time, I have been doing stuff on Twitter and other places for about 6 years. And back when I did it, I did a lot of art. That's part of what I was doing. Now, I never exposed my face or anything, but people who were around me knew me for what I was doing. And the vast majority of people who visited my page genuinely enjoyed what I had to put out. But there were people who showed up just to be angry about it. There were people who showed up just to point fun at it or condemn me as a person simply because I was drawing, simply for being there. And that's pretty much a normal thing. That was pretty much like a daily thing, so I never let it bother me. What a lot of newcomers, especially not just those who are new to YouTube, but new to doing stuff on the internet altogether, is that they need to understand that is what's going to start happening eventually. Doesn't matter how big your following is or how small it might be. Could just be a close-knit people. Could be exposed to the whole world. You're gonna have people who shit on you eventually. And it might not be for anything that you did. There are a lot of genuinely good people online who other people see on their screens and just go, no. For people who are new to this, they might question, why? Why am I receiving so much hate all of a sudden? Why all these nasty comments? Why all these death threats? It could be because you're a controversial being. It could just be because of the things that you've done made people angry at you, which more often than not is the case. But for many other times, it could just be because you showed up on their screen. The sad truth is that there are people in this world who only exist to sow hatred, to be mean, to be nasty. And it's not, and for many of them, it's not anything that they can't control. They just want to do that. And they're always going to do that, and nothing's ever going to change. You realize that for as many negative people in your life that you get rid of, as long as you're continuing to grow, that number of people while the number of people who love you is going to grow, the number of people who hate you is also going to continue to grow, regardless of what you do. Regardless of how large or how small your following is, you're going to have people who don't like you. You're going to have people who hate you. And you're going to have people who want to destroy you. And I don't mean that figuratively either. I mean literally. Like how not a day goes by on my feed where I don't see some new YouTuber having some kind of controversy behind them. It could be to people I've never even heard of before. A lot of that could be genuine. Some of those are genuinely genuine. But most of that kind of news is just pure fabrication. I know hearing that may seem scary, but don't ever let that stop you. This is why we need to push past the negativity. If I had stopped whenever people said a bunch of negative stuff to me, or people who made threats to me, or people who have genuinely tried to get me taken down simply for being there, I would have stopped being online a long time ago. But I never stopped, and I became a pretty successful artist, even if it didn't pan out too well for me as a job. But regardless of that, I still had people who loved me. Which isn't to say that you shouldn't listen to constructive criticism. If you're anything like me, there are a lot of people who know better than you. So if there's somebody who's genuinely trying to hand you a tip, instead of being cynical about it, maybe try listening and see if what they're saying has an actual point behind it. At the end of the day, it's just a natural force. It's just destructive people being destructive. In this particular case, it happens to be pointed at you. Ignore it. You're gonna have people who don't like you. Ain't nothing you can do. There's always gonna be people talk. Let them talk. It is only a problem if you let it be a problem. If there are people who are genuinely trying to ruin you, that's when you need to start an investigation. Other than that, it's just talk. Ignore the negativity. Keep it pushing. Never stop dreaming. Never stop creating. Don't be intimidated by what I just told you. Internalize it. Recognize it. And now that you know, you can be ready for it when it happens. They'll never get you unless you let them. So don't let them, alright? What am I even talking about anymore? Thanks for listening in, y'all. Take it easy.